Hey, it's your girl Money 69 Ways, and I am here to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 2, y'all. Um, this episode for me was a little better than the premiere episode, in my opinion. Yeah, because we got more, especially from Pinky and K Michelle, the two newcomers. So yeah, it was good. It was a pretty good episode than the premiere episode, in my opinion. But yes, before I get into this episode, child, make sure y'all are subscribed. Hit the like button for me. If you see the hype button, hit the hype button, hype me up, get me in the algorithm, and make sure you comment and let me know your thoughts on episode 2. Okay, so we about to get into it. Let me pull up my notes. Okay, so episode 2, we get like a little montage of the ladies. Angela, I think, was out with Drew, and then we see Phaedra with her son Aiden driving. I'm like, yeah, these kids grow up so fast. So I think he's like 15, 16, and he's driving her around, and she just reflecting on the days when she first introduced, she didn't know her damn due date. They so shady for showing that flashback into. Then we see Aiden, his first day at kindergarten and stuff, and now he's driving his mom, and then the shady producers child asks, does he drive you around? But she said no, he's been driving since he was 12. He be driving his dad around. She said, oh, cause he's a drunk or something like that. It was shade towards Paolo. I didn't care for Phaedra like that. I'm like, well, that's shady, but I don't care for if Paulo catch that shade or not, in my opinion. But I really don't be caring for Phaedra. But it's something about when she's with her kids. They're just like Giselle with her kids. So anybody with their kids, it's just always a sweet moment for me. But and that's about it. That's all I can give Phaedra. So it was good to see that Aiden growed up and now he's driving. Cool. So let's get to this tea brunch situation that Portia gathered K Michelle and Kelli, of all peoples, to have a discussion or just hang out, basically. Because mind you, episode 1, premiere episode, um Portia is not really feeling Kelli because the way she be coming at her on behalf of Shamia. Yeah, in my opinion, Kelli never really gave Portia a fair shake when it came to last season. Um she gravitated towards more of Shamia because now her and Britt seemed like they was like attached to the hips when they first came in. But she gravitated towards Shamia at one point, and she did shaded Portia last season, episode 1, at Shamia's party about sleeping with married men or something like that, or taking that woman husband. And yeah, so like I said, Kelly and gave Portia a fair shake because they did have a brunch last season, mind you. They had a brunch last season, and they talked, and I thought they squashed it, but ever since after that, like I said, Kelly was gravitating towards Shamia, and then once Shamia and Portia fell out, and then it just went downhill from there. But Portia's talking about she gonna let bygones be bygones. She want to start anew with Kelly, want to move forward. I'm like, moving forward, Portia, yeah, okay, because after this scene, you wasn't moving forward. Um, K Michelle announced that she's gonna be at the ACMAs. She doing she going to Nashville for the ACMAs. She is honoring Reese Palmer, a country legend. So yeah, so that's what she's gonna be doing. She shared the news with the ladies, and then Portia and Kelly like, I'm glad that we are here. We are I guess talking or seem like they on good foot. But I'm looking like, girl, what are you talking about? On a good foot, because like I said, last episode when it was at Portia House, and also you is about to spill this tea, and Portia knows she was doing because she said it real good, in my opinion, because well, she is a vet going up against Kelly, who was on her second year of the show. So it's no surprise that Portia would set it up like this. How she just said how Kelly walk around like she's perfect, and you talking about how you hurt my feelings on an interview. I'm like, girl, just say the Roja after show, the after show. Just say that, not the interview. But yeah, because they show a clip when Kelly said Portia should Portia should like keep her legs close to married men, or stop trying to sleep with married men, or stop sleeping with married men. It was something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Because I remember when that statement happened on the after show last season. But mind you, Kelly said that this was when the episode when Portia was threatened to sleep with Angela's husband. So I don't know why Portia is upset, but I guess she just felt like she got to get a lick back on Kelly in some way, because she still probably feel the way that Kelly is more on Shamia's side, I guess, more gravitated to Shamia. So yeah, so Portia said her feeling was her, and then she just said, "How you gonna say that when you sleep with married men?" And she talking about something about the weekend of the BET Awards, and I said, "What?" I already sniffed the BS because it's the way that Portia set it up. But Kelli was blindsided. She said, "What?" She said, "No, I don't see no married man." Girl, yeah, Kelli is better than me because I would have lied. The way my mom set up, I would have told it every which way but loose because this is the moment you should call her Horsha, okay? Because I'm like, no, that's you, Horsha. No, that's you to sleep with married men, okay? But yeah, and Kelli was taking it back, and it was funny because K Michelle was doing like it was a tennis match because she was like confused. She said, "I'm confused because the way Portia talking about." Because Kelli said, if you gonna have these accusations, you need to have the receipts." And then in the confessional, we see Portia said, "I am the receipt." And then that's when I said, "This is a straight up lie." I ain't gonna hold you. It's just like Phaedra was saying the last episode that she got the video. She saw the video footage of the girl not approaching Angela, and the producer had to catch up in the line in the confessional. I just said, Portia, Portia, Portia. It just reminded me of last season with Portia. If you didn't know, I don't care for Portia in that way. I don't hate her, just I don't care for her in the way she moves. I used to like her, believe it or not, but it's like ever since season 9, it's just been downhill with her for me. So it, like I said, it reminded me of last season when Portia approached Drew. She set her eyes on Drew as a target because she was working with Dennis, and I will never forget that scene.
You and her need to take accountability for where your relationship is right now. And apparently, you said that she tried to sleep with you.
When I say that?
That's right. Right
Please.
Here.
I ain't never been around this lady.
You said, well, let me use your glasses.
What?
I'll show you.
You ain't even, hold on, what?
You said, well, all you had to do was say yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think, you said, well, all you had to do was say yeah. So she tried to you?
You're interpreting that incorrectly.
Where she talking about Dennis said that Drew was trying to sleep with him for beats or something like that. Because mind you, Dennis was working with Drew with the music, with the album and stuff. So yeah. So that's kind of what it reminds me of. Let me know your thoughts. That it reminds you of last season when she was coming towards Drew. So now she's coming at Kelli with some BS. But what lost me is when Kelli asked Portia for a hug. I don't know why this lady asking this lady for a hug. Tomorrow you gonna give me a hug like you did Drew, because her and Drew hug it out. If you watched last season at the reunion, they hugged it out. At the reunion. So they let bygones be bygones. So the fakery of it all, Portia lioness and Kelli fakeness is irritating me. Even though it's entertaining, but it can still kind of be irritating because you be like, damn, we want some real people, like, because ain't no way I'm not hugging a bitch who just claimed that I sleep with married men and that she got some type of receipts. Are you okay? No. So so that's what happened. They hugged it out, child. We're gonna move on. Let's move on to Pinky and her family, her husband Derek. So that we see her family dynamic is okay. We know that they've been married for 5 years, and he got his own food business, Big Dave's cheesesteak place. He said it was number 6 in the country, I want to say, in food industry, rated ranked at number 6 across the country. Yes, they have 5 kids, 2 from Derek's previous, I guess, situation, and 3 of the younger kids are together with one another. So they had them back to back. They had 3 kids within 3 years, child, and they only been married for 5 years. She said she got pregnant like 3 months after they got together. I'm like, you move fast, like K Michelle moved fast when she got married to this man. Oh my goodness. So that's what you and K Michelle have in common, and y'all so war sisters, child. But anyway, like I said, we at Pinky house. And it was like a discussion of, she said she wanted another baby. And then, the husband said, no, you don't need no more kids. And then her mama had to come in. I'm like, do your mama live with you? I was lost. I must have missed it. I don't know if she said it, but the mama came in. And then Pinky talking about, I want another baby. And the mom said, I hope not. And she said, I'm pregnant right now. And then the mom looking like, she was like, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah. She had a cute family. But like I said, they was talking about, I guess Derek talking about expanding Dave, Big Dave of cheesesteak company, whatever. He want to do something corporate, and she's talking about franchise. He should do franchise. I was like, okay, so it's like corporate versus franchise. I mean, y'all need to do your research and see which one will be a best fit. That's all I can tell you. But he want to do corporate with a Big Dave cheesesteak. There's no prenup. I found that interesting. And she also told the story about Slutty Vegan. I mean, I follow her on social media, so it's like I already know these things because she usually comes to social media and share. these things when she's down, when she's up, whether good or bad, she will come to social media and let people know. But yeah, so she lost the company. She had 14 franchise locations, and then because she opened it in 2018, she had 14 locations. She usually serving 500 people every day. It'd be a long line. She ended up being in $20 million in debt, and she said she brought back her company after losing it for 43 days. And once she lost the company, she lost the people. She fired everybody. She said her business failings was due to she had the wrong people in place. I'm like, but you got to take some accountability because yeah, you the face, you is the brand, and of Slutty Vegan, it's your baby. So you should have been on your P's and Q's, make sure that the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed. So it's just like, yeah, you have to take some ownership on that. But yeah, so she said she brought it back after 43 days, and she brought on new people, I guess CFOs and business people. I hope they are good. I hope they're not shady. And she just saying she's gonna rebuild and fix Slutty Vegan up, build it back up again. So we shall see. I don't stay in the A, but I do remember when she used to travel to certain cities and, as a pop up and, saying she's here and then, it'd be long lines and stuff. So her husband have a, like I said, conversation, discussion. And, she just became vulnerable at one point and she was crying. And then at one point he was saying like how she's so dominant and he had to humble her. I was like, excuse you? Say what now? You had to humble her. That came out wrong. I don't know if it was editing or what, because that did not sound right or sound cool at all coming out of his mouth. But he used the wrong phrase or used the wrong words. But yeah, we shall see, because I don't know if he used the wrong words, because he did say you so dominant at first, and then he said the humble part. He just said how he trying to clear it up, somehow they balance each other out. And she was just saying how the struggle she went through with Slutty Vegan. Mind you, they only been married for 5 years, and she been through a lot with the company. And she said, some long days, sleepless nights, and she needed her husband. She was crying and being vulnerable. I'm like, is he emotionally unavailable or something, or unattached? Because why he's not comforting Pinky in that moment? And I don't know what he was doing when she was going through her troubles with the business. And and that could be stressful. And then you have 3 young little kids. I think the oldest one was 4, 3, and 2. I think. Child, please. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was tough on her. But like I said, he seemed like he was emotionally unavailable for her at that point in time, and she wished he was there more for her in that moments. So we shall see how things pan out with them too. So, yep. So that's Pinky and her family. Let's move on to the next. So we're gonna move over to K Michelle. We see K Michelle's had bought a new home. It's a nice looking house. It's like it's out in the boonies, like the boondocks. So it's like far away from from a city standpoint. But it's very nice. It's very, I like the yard, very spacious. If it's just them two, yeah, definitely, yeah. But we see her realtor Denise, because it say K Michelle's house. It don't say K Michelle Casting house, Dr. Casting house. So it's K Michelle house. I'm like, okay, this is name not on the deed. I don't know, but the realtor was taken aback because K Michelle like, we married now. And then they showed this little clip footage of him at the courthouse. It was so unenthused because he didn't have this enthusiastic face on when he was at the courthouse getting married. People say they can't find her marriage certificate. I don't know. I'm not looking. I don't care. But I was just caring about having a prenup or something in place to protect her, just in case shit don't work out. Okay, I know he's a dentist, but no. And we seen him before. We like she said, she know him since he was like middle school, junior high, I think, or high school, whatever. And they've been on and off for like 10, 11 years. So, and she just discussing how she wanted another baby. She wanted a little girl, but she ended up with a boy. I'm like, it's given that she want to do over for sure. I can see that she want to do over for sure. But she want a little girl this time. So, yeah, I have no words for that. I mean, yes. So, you have some fertility issues. I mean, she's in her 40s. I mean, it can happen. I mean, if you can get the fertility, your body ready for it, for this baby, then she should be good. Because I don't think age is a number anyway. It's just your body. Your body has to hold this. Your womb has to be ready for this baby to be grown. So it's like, because I seen people have babies in their 50s, 60s. So yeah, I mean, like I said, if her body is right and then her womb is right and everything's intact, I could see her, having a baby. Or, you can adopt or get a surrogate. I mean, there's other options. You can't have it yourself, but it would be nice to have it yourself. But stuff happened. So yeah, she like I said, she discussed she want to have another baby child, and she said that Caston gonna be traveling back and forth because, mind you, he has a license to practice his dentistry in Memphis. So until he get his license from Georgia, yeah, so he gonna be going back and forth because he gonna be doing his work in Memphis, Tennessee until otherwise. Dr. Caston's real laid back. He's not over the top, so I guess they kind of gel together. And she shared this brief summary of, if you didn't watch the interview she did with what's his name? Why his name escaping me right now? Yeah, she did an interview and she discussed how they got married so quick and why they got married so quick. Cause initially she's supposed to marry someone else. She had a boyfriend or fiance, or well, boyfriend. It was like a NBA coach or something. She shared in an interview with Jason Lee. Yeah, Jason Lee. That's who she interviewed with. So yeah, she briefly discussed it here, but it was just a hot mess. I'm like, okay, Kay. I don't know if y'all really married or not, but just protect yourself. That's all I gotta say. Even though I know you know him since junior high or high school, but still protect yourself. We're gonna move on. So Kelly is meeting up with Shamia and Angela. They is going shopping for their girls. I forgot they all do got girls. Got some little girls. So they is doing shopping and talking, and Kelly is kind of seeing like she's down because she just found out that her ex-husband is just did a interview with Tasha K, and he's just talking about, their business, talking about her and stuff like that. And I'm not shocked. I only saw a clip or a screenshot of when the interview went down, and I don't follow Tasha K, so there's that. She's like really not in my algorithm at all, unless somebody's talking or suing her, or I know she owed Cardi B a lot of money, but other than that, she's not in my algorithm, so I don't see so much of Tasha K. But I remember when the interview went down, people was talking about it, blogs was talking about it, and and I'm pretty sure the ex-husband feels salty because of last season. She was briefly discussing why she getting divorced and some of the stuff that's going on in her divorce, but she never really called this man out by name. But leave it up to the viewers, the detectives on the internet. They will find up or scoop up some stuff because they scoop up his old pictures of them, of Kelly and him when they was getting married and stuff, before she got all that, like she got all that surgery and stuff. But yeah, so we saw what he looked like, what he hidden for. Yeah, so yeah, so she was kind of down about that. And what else happened? And Angela asked about finances because, mind you, I think she did have to file for bankruptcy, and it was the house she got in the divorce. She had to sell it or something like that. It was something like that. It was crazy, but and also not just from the divorce, it's from her business. It's not a chicken and waffles because, mind you, the landlord was suing her for rent, for $100,000. She said I had to pay. I was owing rent on the space that something that wasn't even open. So she said she ended up paying $50,000 on that bill. So yeah, so the grand opening is the weekend. She told the ladies, and they said they are coming. Then she said Cha-Cha, the little pink little thing she's holding, it wasn't getting any grooms. She hasn't had any grooming in a few months. I'm like, yeah, grooming yourself. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to groom a dog, especially a little dog like Cha-Cha. So yeah. And she also brought up what went down with T with K and P. Though she said K and P, and how Portia just said how she told her how she sleep with married men. It was funny. And Kelly was just saying how she slept with married men and how everything came to be. And then she called her Horsha, and then Angela Faye was like, you said that? She's like, no, I don't. She said, I don't think I said it, but that's what I wanted to say. I'm like, want. Now that's when you should have been saying Horsha. But like I said, Kelly is so fake. She calling her Horsha after you just hug it out with that lady is crazy. And Shmi was like, I wouldn't even hug after that if she would accuse me sleeping with a married man. And then Shamia appealed it to Angela. She said, did you what she say? Did you something about, like, basically Shamia want Angela and Drew to have an issue. Cause it's like, did you analyze or did you like think about what happened because Drew went to Phaedra about the receipts wasn't receding, and Drew want to get to know Phaedra on her own accord, start over. Because mind you, Phaedra and Drew should not have no beef at all. Point blank in the period. And Angela's like, yeah, I talked about it and it is what it is. I talked about it with her. We discussed it. It is what it is. And then she said, I don't know why Shamia is having a hard on for us to have an issue. Her and Drew to have an issue. I said the same thing. I peeked at episode 1. Like, what are you doing? Because you and Portia are on the outs. You want everybody else to feel that way? Like, what are you doing? So yeah, so that was it. It was a cute little scene. So we're gonna move on to Drew a movie premiere. So we get to the premiere and it's the movie Run. I remember it came out and it's her, Claudia Jordan, and some other people. I think it was Erica from Love and Hip Hop. The Erica. So yeah, so they had the movie premiere Run. Drew said, she got to get out there and get her work on, and she said the album is doing good. It's a good album. I listen to it. It's on my playlist. I listen to it. So her and Claudia, we see them walking up the escalator. Her mom showed up, which is cute, and we see the cast. It's an all lady cast. It was cute. Then we see the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast showed up. Everybody was there except for Shamia and Kelli, because I know Kelli was probably Shamia, Kelli, and K Michelle. I want to say. Yeah, Shamia, Kelli, and K Michelle, because I know Kay was probably traveling to Nashville during that time, and Kelli was getting prepared for Nana's Chicken and Waffles soft opening, and Shamia was just invited, but she didn't invite Phaedra. Like I said, Drew said she wanted to get to know Phaedra, start anew with her. She said because mind you, Phaedra came in the last season on the tail end of the last season, actually, and it should be no beef between her and Drew. It was just weird. Because Drew sided with, she was on Angela's side, supporting her friend when it came to, I guess, that whole man coming in being messy, trying to mess up Angela and Charles' situation, their relationship. But Phaedra did come, and Angela and Phaedra, squashed that beef. And then, Angela put on big girl panties and actually asked her straight up, like, you ain't had nothing to do with that messy dude coming in there, making a toast and, saying that stuff about my husband. She said no. She's like, okay. She said she apologized, accusing her or whatever. And they just squashed it, hug it out, being cordial at best. So it was good to see. And Drew was taken aback in shock about it. And then we get Portia. No, I'm just playing. Portia came in with her new lady friend called, her name is Sway. I'm like, oh gosh, not another actor. I'm like, what happened to Mike? Mike was last episode, and now we got Sway. Who gonna be the next episode? But it's the way the preview was looking, so it seemed like Sway was hired for the acting gig and continued to last through the season, I'm guessing, but I don't know. It could be a real relationship, it could be not, I don't know. But we know that Portia is not new to the lady pun. We not shocked. Like, I believe she was scissoring and carpet munching on the low for a while, in my opinion. Okay, I don't know to be for certain, but we know she been kissing. And they did a flashback of when they was in that house, and who was Latoya? Latoya was on her lap and they was kissing and straddling her or whatever. And then we see her get into it with Candy. Candy said, how you trying to tongue me down? You was like kissing me, tongue me down, talking about how you want to eat my cat until I come or something like that. It was just wild. I was like, the producers ain't gonna forget, nor the viewing audience, the real fans. They know what went down. Okay. So yeah, I guess so. Portia's out of the closet, I guess. Good for her. I mean, she enjoying it, but I just can't stand when Phaedra in the confession low key calling her a whore. And then Angela called her fluid. I'm like, okay, but it's like Phaedra be low key calling Portia a whore, so it's not the first time she said that about Portia. I'm like, okay. I mean, hey, if she a whore, but I don't know. I mean, nothing is free in this world, so we shall see. Let's see. So like I said, Drew said the album's doing good. She said she got to book these gigs because she's going through a divorce and those attorney fees is kicking her ass. I'm like, I bet it is kicking her ass because mind you, she filed in 2023, we is 2026, and they still not divorced yet. And it just came out that she lost physical custody. She got to be out the house May 31st, and now she's making asking the judge to amend the motion, whatever the judge had motion to happen. And she said because what's his name, Conehead, make 3 times more than her. She said her income was like $12,000 a month. I mean, that's what TMZ reported that she said. But she said if the judge don't make an amend to that agreement of her moving out, of the judgment of her moving out to out of May 31st, her oldest son will be homeless. Mind you, Conehead is not the oldest son's biological father. So yeah, so he will have physical custody of the youngest 2, because mind you, Drew had 3 children, but 2 with Conehead. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with Drew. Yeah, she needs to. I don't know how much this lady making. We hoping she's making enough because she's been on there for like 4 seasons. I want to say 4 or 5 seasons of the Housewives. I hope she's making enough on this Housewife stuff. I don't know how her contract is set up. But if you, she gonna find a little condo or something. She better than me because as long as she's there to the 31st, she still has to pay half of the utilities or whatever, half of the bills. I would have been out the house. I ain't gonna hold you. I would have been found me a place, enough space for me and my kids. And she lost physical custody because the kids missed some days of school. I don't know how many days. I've been hearing in the media. I've been hearing different numbers, but they still look bad. But even though Ralph was in the basement, they should have had agreement that like when she's working or she have work obligations or working because she's in entertainment, so it's like she has to work in order to pay half of the bills that she's supposed to already have paid in that household and to take care of their kids. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I was like, F them kids, give them to the daddy, let the daddy have physical custody, child. Like he's their daddy. I mean, if he could be there and get them to school on time and do his work, hey, more hats off to him. Like because get him the physical custody. It's just physical custody. It's not the legal custody. She still has a legal say in the kid's life, so that's good. But yeah, I know it's hard to see and hear that a mother losing physical custody of her kids, but um, Drew career is careering right now, so yeah. And Conehead it seems like he's just living to make her life hell. And I heard in the media she said that Conehead agreed to have joint physical custody and then switch his mind. I'm like, why would you believe this fool? And what kind of lawyers you got? You said these lawyers be kicking your ass. I'm like, you must miss the payment or something because your lawyer dropped the ball. Okay. So like if you want these kids, you can have these kids. That's what I would have said, but okay. So that's just me. But I mean, I'm pretty sure she can see them on the weekends, but yeah. I don't know. Drew, get yourself together, and I don't know what your financials is when it comes to these movies, these Tubi movies, these other movies, acting gigs or whatever. And Housewives check. You need to get a good accountant, okay? And you need to budget yourself on some serious stuff, okay? And get your own for real. But yeah. So that's Drew run movie premiere. It was cute. They show a shot with them in the theater, and like I think Drew died within like 35 to 40 minutes of the movie. It was funny. She lasts longer than most. Okay. Um, let's move on. Let's move on to Nana Chicken and Waffles soft opening. Oh, let me run it back a little bit because Drew said something that was crazy when they met Sway because Drew was shocked because last time she saw Portia, she was with a man, and she said, "Girl, why?" I'm like, "What?" She said, "Why are you living my life or something like that?" I said, "Excuse you, Drew." I'm like, "Did you just say that? Is you playing off of the joke of the Ty situation last season?" I guess. I'm like, you got to be careful what you say on this show because Conehead is analyzing everything you say. I'm pretty sure he's gonna use it against you. So oh look, I'm missing stuff. I'm looking at my notes. I'm missing stuff. Back to the premiere. It was a lot going on at this premiere. I ain't gonna hold you. Because Angela tell Facial that Kelly and Portia got into it about Kelly sleeping with married men, right? And then Portia said, "Yeah, we talked. Yeah, that happened." And she said it was awkward for a minute. Then we hugged it out. And then Angela let it be known that Kelly called Portia Horsha when she was talking to her and Shamia, telling her and Shamia about it. Portia called her a fake ass bitch, and I agree. This is the only time I would agree with Portia. That is fake, Kelly. Like you say that in somebody's face, and that's what Angela said. Like, why would you say that in her face? What are we doing? Then she said, "Oh, so are you going to her grand opening?" I'm like, "Y'all so messy. How you gonna tell this lady that Kelly called her horse and then ask her if she going to that lady soft opening and then the chicken and waffles?" And then Portia said, "No, I'm not going now." She said, "No, I'm not going to the Nana chicken and waffles soft opening." Like she said, "I'm off." She said, "I'm off carbs." I'm like, "That's funny." I had a little chuckle there. Yeah. So back to Kelly Nana chicken and waffle soft opening. I mean, it took her 13 months to open this thing because imagine she was going to divorce and she trying to rebuild. She said she's trying to rebuild after the divorce. Okay. Which is tough. And she got like 4 kids, one is in college at Spelman. So it's like a lot on her plate. And I don't know what her ex-husband is contributing when it comes to taking care of the kids. So I don't know. But yeah, she kind of got emotional. She made an announcement, yada, yada, yada. But as they was arriving, Cynthia looked cute in her little white outfit. She looked very motherly, like the mother hen of the group. And Shamia came in with a stupid look on her face, especially when Phaedra came in and hugged Angela. She like, what's going on? I was cracking up because not Shamia is feeling some type of way because she's like, what was all this? Like, she's like, did I miss something? I'm like, yeah, they made up at an event you wasn't invited to. Um, and then she talking about how Shamia wanted not Shamia. She was just saying how they wanted her and Portia to make up and look at. I'm like, look here. She was just saying how people was invested for her and Portia to make up. I'm like, that's different though. Phaedra and Angela don't know each other. They don't know each other. You and Portia know each other. We seen you countless times before you even got your peach. You was like her friend. We see in the background. We'll see by her side. And then you became like a friend of at one point. And then now you got your peach. So we seen you countless times. And y'all was friends for like 30 years. So what was we talking about? That's so different from you and Portia, from Angela and Phaedra. Okay. They squash that beef. And like Pinky said, they're grown. Okay. And they don't sweep stuff under the rug like you do. Because you did that all that season. That's what made me like got turned off on you when it came to you and Portia. Sweep stuff under the rug. You tell everybody else about it, how you feel about it, but you're not telling the person who is affecting you, who's hurting your feelings or hurting you in what way, in a certain way. So shut up, okay? Put a shut to the up, Shamia. You just mad, okay? You just want somebody to be all like you and Portia. You just want to be miserable, you know. Oh, so Pinky talked to Kelli. She did get a chance to talk to Kelli because Kelli said she didn't know number. She wasn't sure about Pinky because she messaged Pinky one time and she left on red. We get an explanation why Pinky left on red. Pinky bought her a gift and tell her congratulations. She's proud of her as a Black woman opening up this restaurant, and she know that the restaurant industry is not easy. And she just apologized for leaving her red because Pinky said she had a lot going on at the time. And if she's talking about losing slutty vegan and going through financial hardship with her own stuff, I can see that. But yeah, so I don't know if she was gonna ever talk to Kelli if she wasn't on the show. So that's the other thing. Like, would you even responded back to her or congratulate her any other time if you wasn't on the show? So I don't know. And that would be a good question to ask. So Portia sent Kelli some flowers. And it was like some red roses, long stem. And then it was a card that said like, congratulations, P.S. We need to talk, XOXO. And Kelli rolled her eyes, dismissed the flowers, and told the dude to take them away. And like I said, Angela said, why you don't tell these things to Portia's face? Because she's friends with Shamia. Shamia was known for that, not saying stuff in Portia's face. And it was irritating the F out of me last season. So here we are. I think Cynthia is the one who phoned it Portia. She passed the phone down to Kelli. The phone was getting passed down to Kelli. And she said, did you get my flowers? And she's like, yeah, I got your flowers. She just said how the flowers are broken up and how she got broken flowers from a broken person. It was just shady. I'm like, you talking real tough on the phone, homegirl. And I don't even care for Portia, but you talking real tough on the phone, homegirl. So yeah, it was just crazy and wild. Because I'm gonna need you to have the same energy when Portia steps to you. Okay. And we know that you're scared of Portia, okay? Because people is taken aback with the attitude because everybody don't know the drama between her and Portia because everybody wasn't at the premiere or privy to the little beef or whatever. But she had to tell everybody, let it be known that Portia is the one who said that she heard that Kelli was sleeping with married men and yada yada yada. And while she was sleeping with the married man, she heard that this is what I forgot to say at the beginning, that she was talking about Dennis and Portia. Like, why would she talk about Dennis and Portia while sleeping with a married man? It's just crazy. Why would they come up and you sleeping with a married man? No. And like Cynthia said, you should be worried about the wife. That's the last thing you be worried about, is the Dennis and the Portia. Crazy. So yeah, so so that was the Nana Chicken and Waffle soft opening spot. I think it's in Sandy Springs. I'm not from Georgia, so I heard that it's not Atlanta. It's far away. I don't know how far. For my Atlanta people, let me know how far that is. So Shamia is sour about not being invited to Drew premiere, and then we also see Shamia mother and father. And I did not like how Shamia's mother just interject herself into the conversations and stuff like that, especially when her and Shamia was having a talk about not being invited, and then the apology, and then the follow-up with how she could have got Drew, could have went harder on Drew and stuff like that. And Drew said she felt like it was a threat and yada, yada, yada. I did not like how Shamia mother approached and when trying to say some prayer or something. I didn't like the interruption. It was weird, and I know Shamia needs some support, and because she's not getting support from Gerald. Gerald is not coming to no thing, nothing, unless it's at the house or at his office. But yeah, I would have to tell my mama to lay back. Only time I need you to pipe up is when you see me getting jumped. Okay. Other than that, you play in the background. But yeah, so that was Nana chicken and waffles. They said the food was good. Pinky couldn't eat it because she's a vegan. So there's that. Moving on to the last scene with K. Michelle. K. Michelle, like I said, she was in Nashville. She was at the ACMAs honoring Reese Palmer, a country legend, and she did a performance. And then we see it's the next day. She's like at the hospital or at the emergency room or something, and she described that she was backstage and she was sitting. She stood up off the couch, and the couch was soaking wet. And then they had to blow dry, I guess, off her dress or what have you, because imagine it was soaking wet like a big puddle. And it turns out that she has an opening where she previously had surgery. So it had opened. So that's what the leak was coming from. That's what the doctor came in and told her. And then she had to do some reconstructive surgery. And she cannot eat nothing. They want her to go home, and he's going to call her. So she got to do like an emergency reconstructive surgery. I'm like, how fast can you book that? And she's a celebrity, so I don't know how fast you can book that, because that stuff can usually need to be scheduled. And you got to find a surgeon, a right surgeon at that. And, she was just crying. I guess to one of her workers, or I don't know if it was a relative. I forgot. I ain't catch the lady name, but she wasn't there alone. But she did leave a message on Dr. Caston, her husband, phone, because he didn't answer. So she did leave a message that she's in the hospital. But she was just crying. She said that she did this to herself, with the surgery of the illegal silicone injection she had. And I remember her being on that show and helping others, reverse their terrible botched surgery. So yeah, she's just crying to say she did it to herself. She said she wished, she didn't do it. She said, I was trying to get a butt that I already had. I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna hold you, because I remember watching her on Love and Hip Hop, and when she left Love and Hip Hop, I was watching her as well, because she was doing her music, she was doing her thing, her albums or whatever. I'm like, damn, I seen like her ass getting bigger. So I guess she just got some more and expanded it, and it's kind of hard because you got to go in there and get insert tissues out, and you don't want to ruffle no other things in your body. You don't want to mess it up too much. That stuff is hard to take out. So yeah, so she just, I just felt real bad for her in that moment. I'm like, damn, your butt leaking, you talking about having a baby. It's just a lot. It's a lot on K. Michelle. So I'm glad she was vulnerable and willing to share this. Yeah, willing to share this vulnerable moment of a bad decision she made. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but yeah, so that's how the episode ended. And I can't wait to the next episode, because it seemed like her and Portia had some misunderstanding or getting to it some kind of way. I don't know what Portia did. I'm like, you introduced her and you already got some mishap with this lady already, I guess. But yeah, so that was episode 2. Like I said, I enjoyed it more than the premiere episodes. Let me know your thoughts on the episode. I know some people don't like Pinky, but like I said, I've been following her before before Real Housewives of Atlanta. So yeah, so I know she had to grow on some people, but it's really refreshing to see more of her personality. It's like you only see a minuscule of someone's personality on social media, but to see it on a show, a reality show, you get to see a little bit more and be open their family and stuff, their personal business up to you. So yeah, I'm cool with everybody, and I did see the taglines. I like everybody tagline except for Phaedra. I didn't care for Angela. I definitely didn't care for Kelli and Shamia, but everybody else was cool. It was okay. Yeah, they could have did better, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts below on this episode, and I will see y'all for episode 3. Bye. But yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts below on this episode, and I will see y'all for episode 3. Bye.